device from mobile phone and
as soon as I hit it.
0000.
All right, guys, we are going to the track. Finally, 3 weeks. I've been trying to get to the track. Rained out or track closed down for whatever reason every time. But tonight, we're going. That's the intro.
Do you have everything? Keys, laptop?
Keys are in the car, right?
I didn't take them out.
Okay. Well, you were the last one in it.
Okay, keys are
All right. So we're loaded up, headed out. We're actually heading to Knoxville. Some of you guys know we were supposed to go to the Shitbox Showdown with Matt Rice at English Mountain, but unfortunately, due to the weather, they have called that off. So here's my plan, guys. My plan, since we've done so much stuff to Chaos Theory back there, we've just done so much stuff to it since the last time I raced it. I have no idea what it's going to do. I mean, we've changed, you know, the entire fuel system. We've put a totally different rear end in it with different gear ratio. Let's see, what all have I done? New intake. We put the Holley intake on, bigger fuel injectors. So basically what we're going to do is just try to get everything dialed in tonight. And also, I know some of you guys have asked me, so I'm just going to say, we're not just testing the car tonight, we're also testing me with the vertigo that I've got going on now since I got sick last year. So we're going to kind of see how I react as well. So that's going to be interesting.
Do you have the helmet?
Yeah. Helmet and the suit are in the back of the car.
Okay.
So here's my plan, guys. I'm hoping we can get plenty of passes tonight. I don't know how crowded it's going to be. I've still got a half a tank of 93 in the car. So what I want to kind of do is make 1, possibly 2 passes on 93 on maybe about 12 pounds of boost, and, you know, make sure the fuel tables are straight and everything. And then I've got 5 gallons. Jeez, lady.
She was in the middle of the intersection.
Then I've got 5 gallons of pump E85 in a fuel can in the back of the truck here. So I don't know what that's going to do to my ethanol ratio, because I don't know what kind of ratio is in that pump E85. I heard online the same day I bought it that somebody had tested that gas station and it was like 79% ethanol. So I don't know if we can get our ethanol rating up to around E40, I would be happy with that, and we'll test on that the rest of the night, see how that goes. Something else that, you know, is going to happen on at least the first pass is I just hooked up the secondary fuel pump in our surge tank, so we're probably going to have a rich spike on the first pass, especially until we get that figured out when that secondary pump kicks on. So, you know, basically, like I said, guys, it's not an all new setup, but a lot of stuff has changed and we've got to get it figured out. You guys saw the video where I had it out on the street, and I was just on gate pressure and it was just knocking the tires off. So I couldn't really get a good read, couldn't really do any tuning for anything but part throttle in that video. So hopefully we'll get some good data tonight and, you know, kind of get the car straightened out. And then tomorrow, if it doesn't rain and I don't break anything tonight, we may go to English Mountain if they're open tomorrow. So I don't want to fill this video up with a bunch of babbling though, so I'm just gonna cut it off here, and when we get to the track, we'll start making some passes. Not a good pass at all, guys. ran a 730 at 94 miles an hour, so that wasn't very good at all. We're gonna have to take a look at that data log. All right, looks like we were only making about 9 pounds of boost on that 730 pass. So I'm gonna try to put a little more duty cycle in it and make a pass. And if everything's good, I'm shooting for about 12 or 13 because we're still on the 93. If everything looks good, after this pass, then we're probably gonna throw some E85 in it. Hell yeah, we got a 152 60 foot, guys. That's our best 60 foot ever. But we ran a 689 at 99 mile per hour. Last time we ran a 684 at 102 mile per hour. So we're a little bit down on power. I don't know how much boost I was making that pass, but I know it left freaking good. I mean, like I said, 152, that's our best 60 foot ever. I felt that thing take off. I was like, hell yeah. Well, I'm gonna look at the data log, and if everything looks good, we might dump some E85 in it and turn it up some more. All right, guys, that was about 12.5 pounds of boost in first and second, and then it rolled out to about 14 pounds of boost in third. We're gonna dump some corn in it and try to turn it up a little. The problem I got right now, I think I'm blowing through the converter, and it's making it real hard for me to get on top of the shifts. That 1-2 shift's just coming so fast. I'm bouncing the rev limiter, then I'm bouncing the rev limiter again on the 2-3. So I think we need a converter, is what I'm saying. But we're gonna try this. We're gonna let it circulate through a little bit, see what the content is, and depending on what the content is gonna determine how much I turn it up. All right, folks, here's the story. We're about to do, I'm gonna call this a Hail Mary pass. We dumped the E in here. We're at 36% ethanol. I turned the boost controller up again. So in high gear, we made 14 pounds on that last pass. The problem is, I don't know what the duty cycle is going to be on ethanol. Usually, it's my understanding, I've got no experience with E, guys. It's my understanding that with ethanol, usually your duty cycle boost curve changes. So I've got no idea what's going on. Oh crap! I just thought I might need to raise my boost cut a little bit, so I'm going to do that real quick before I go up here. But yeah, guys, I got no idea what's going on. It's either gonna make a shit ton of boost and do really good, or I don't know what it's gonna do. Hell, we might even break something. But let me raise that boost cut, and we'll go up here and make a pass and see what happens. I do want to say this: we are still blowing through the converter, and it's making it really hard for me to change gears on time. So I think what I'm going to try to do on this pass is, as soon as this car leaves, I'm going to go ahead and pull it in the second, because I'm riding the rev limiter on every shift, and it's just because it's blowing through the converter. So I don't know, this could be our last run of the night. I need to get a better converter for this thing, I think, is the bottom line. up to big, you know what, because that was my last pass tonight, guys. If we hit boost cut, that means we hit 22 pounds of boost, because I had the hard cut set at 22 pounds. So yeah, that boost controller definitely needs to come down. We'll at least see what our 60 foot was. I think it hit boost cut before we even hit the 60 though. Thank you, sir. Yeah, we hit boost cut before the 60 because it just did a 154 60 foot. That sucks. I'm interested in looking at that data log though. All right, it is now Saturday. Most of you have probably already figured out why we didn't make it to English Mountain today. But just for the guys who maybe didn't understand what was going on last night, I'm going to kind of break it down for you and talk about the issues we were having and what may have been causing them, and talk about the stuff that I don't know what was causing it. So number one, most of you already figured this out, but the torque converter in this thing is pretty much smoked at this point. Now, I'm not disappointed at all, guys. This is a B&M. It's supposed to be a 3800 stall whole shot nitrous converter. It's balloon plated and everything. But we got this thing from our buddy Josh for like 40 bucks used, and from the very get-go, it was really sloppy. I think it was just kind of wore out to begin with. When we were spraying it, it was, you know, it was flashing at probably, I think, 5,000 almost. And it was doing okay, and then on low boost it was doing okay as well, but once we started turning the boost up, it just got sloppier and sloppier. And last night, as you saw, it got so sloppy that I couldn't even stay on top of the shifts, because as soon as I would leave, it would just immediately flash straight to the freaking rev limiter. So yeah, guys, the converter's shot, and the reason that we're not going to English Mountain today is because all I'm going to accomplish if we go up there is blowing the engine up. The car's not going to get any faster because it's not going to put any power down. At this point, I mean, that's what's going on. It's just not putting the power down. And I'm pretty sure that's why we actually went a slightly slower time with about 4 miles per hour less, even though we were running about 2 pounds more boost on that second pass last night. And it's just because I was bouncing the rev limiter the whole pass, and we weren't putting any power down. The torque converter was eating every bit of it, guys. So then when I dumped the E85 in and I tried to crank the boost up, I think on that E85 run, I saw at the top of the track, I tried to get back in it after the car shut off, and I saw 16, 17 pounds at one point. It flashed 17, and that torque converter just wasn't having any part of it. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk to a few people. I have thought about just grabbing one of the Jegs XHD converters, which I know Matt Happel and a few other people, you know, they say they're really good converters for anything, you know, any boosted application under 1,000 horsepower. They seem to be working really good. And my only issue with that is I do not currently have a trans brake, and I'm already having a little trouble building boost on the line. That's something some of you guys may have also noticed. I've played with, you know, advanced tables. I've tried to add timing. I've tried to take away timing. I've tried to add fuel. I've tried to take away fuel. I cannot get this thing to make more than 3 pounds of boost sitting on the foot brake. And I'd like to see at least 6 or 7, but that's something else I got to figure out. And when it comes to the converter, that Jegs converter, they make it in 2 styles. They make like a 3200, and they make, I think, a 3500 or something like that. And everybody that I've seen is running the 3200, which, you know, works great apparently with a trans brake. But what I'm worried about is without a trans brake, I'm just afraid I'm going to have even more trouble making boost, especially since it's going to be a lot tighter of a converter than what I have now. But then I'm afraid that if I step up to the 3500 or whatever it is, that I may run into a similar issue that I'm having now, where it, you know, it's just too sloppy and it ends up, you know, flashing too high. So I'm gonna talk to a few people and figure that situation out and try to get a converter ordered as soon as I can. The other thing is, you know, last year, guys, those Jags converters were like $360, and I just went and looked, and they're like $430 or $440 now for the same converter. So they've went up like $100, pretty much like everything else in the last year. But you know, that's going to make things a little more difficult as well. But I'm going to try to get the converter issue straightened out, go ahead and get a converter ordered so we can get it back to the track. Because, man, I'm just telling you, I think this car's got fives in it, no problem. Even without just moon boosting it, I think it's going to go low sixes, high fives, probably on 14, 16 pounds of boost because, man, I mean, it was hauling ass, and the converter was just sucking it all up. So, you know, if I can run 680s, bouncing the rev limiter the entire 8th mile, and you know, the converter just blowing through the converter the whole time, this thing shouldn't have any problem running low sixes at least on that same amount of boost. Now, touching on something else that happened on that last run. So on that very last run, I thought we hit boost cut because we took off, and I mean, before we even got to the 60 foot, the car just shut off. And then I kind of, you know, I got out of it for a second when it shut off, and then I got back in it at the top of the track just because I wanted to see how much boost it was going to make on the settings that, you know, that I just put in there after we dumped the E85 in there. And here's the issue, guys. It wasn't boost cut. I'm looking at the data log, and the data log shows that we only hit 15 pounds of boost when the car shut off. Well, at that point, I had moved the boost cut up to 22 pounds because, again, I had no idea how much boost it was going to make on that setting. I had never tried it on a duty cycle that high before, but we weren't anywhere near the boost cut limit. So I don't know what happened, and that's part of the reason I'm not making this video until today, because I was up late last night just going over that data log, and you know, I'm no expert, guys, but I can't see any reason the car would have shut off. The fuel pressure was good, the AFRs were good, the boost was well under the boost cut limit. The car just shut off. It bounced the rev limiter for a few seconds, and then it just shut off. I don't know what happened. So that's something else we got to figure out why it did that. And I do want to say, I don't know if you guys picked it up on the in-car view of that last run, but I did exactly what I said I was going to do. The car left, and as soon as it left, I immediately grabbed second gear. Of course, it didn't do any good because, it was just blowing through the converter, so it just stayed on the rev limiter until it shut off. But that's something we got to figure out. Sorry, guys, we had a helicopter going by. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm probably going to try to get a hold of Brett Spence or possibly Matt Happ or somebody and see if I can send my data log to one of them and send a copy of my tune, because I've not touched the tune since that last run. So the way it is the way it was. But I'd like to try to figure out exactly what happened, why the car shut off the way it did. But if I've got any Holly gurus that are watching that you know, might have a clue what happened on that last run, you know, why the car shut off, feel free to leave a comment, let me know. Basically, I just wanted to do this at the end, let you guys know why I didn't go to English Mountain today. It wouldn't have accomplished anything, guys. At this point, the converter's toast. If I keep trying to beat on the car, all I'm going to accomplish is blowing the engine up. I'm probably lucky I didn't blow it up last night, the way I was just tagging that rev limiter the whole 8th mile. But I had fun anyway, guys. As far as my vertigo, it's funny because after every pass, Tracy was asking me, you know, how I felt. And this is the honest to God truth, guys. I was so zoned out making those passes that I couldn't tell if I was dizzy or if I was just super focused. But I didn't pass out, so that's got to be a good thing, right? So I'm thinking for the time being, I think I'm good to go, guys. You know, those of you guys who were asking, and I really do appreciate everybody that was worried about that. I think I'm going to be okay. I'll get some more passes under my belt, and you know, once we get these issues straightened out, the car's going to be pulling even harder. So that's going to test me a little more. But I think I'm good, guys. I think I'm going to be okay. again, I just want to let you guys know why I'm not an English Mountain. I just don't want to blow the car up, not yet anyway. But we'll get this new converter in, get it straightened out, and we'll get it back to the track again. I was just happy to finally get back to the track, guys. It's been 7 months, but while we're waiting on the converter, we do have some other stuff to do. So over here, we've got a whole set of tires for the China Vet, just daily driver tires. These are the Falcon, what are they? Azenas? I don't know, but the Falcon FK 510s. I was just trying to get a good, just all-season daily driver tire since Tracy's driving the car a lot. Now, we do still have our drag radials on our other wheels, so if I do decide to take it, you know, back to the track and do anything with it, we can do that. So we got to get those tires put on. We also got new tires for the trailer because the cheap-ass tires that it came with, you know, we had a blowout, and I don't want to deal with that anymore. So I actually sprung for some good tires from Discount Tire Direct. And then I have been so happy with these brake motive brake kits that we put on the China Vet and on the Avalanche there, that Tracy's Camaro here, the brakes are about shot on it. Pads are about gone. I'm pretty sure one of the rotors is warped. We're getting some vibration when she's slowing down. So I went ahead and ordered a brake motive brake kit for her car. So we'll be doing a video on that soon. We also still have the blackout kit to install on the China Vet. And I guess we'll do a video on that. So hopefully we can do that, get some content in while we're making the decision and waiting on a torque converter to get here for CC. That's all I got, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Then get out in the garage, get something done, and I'll see you next time here on Bad Luck Garage.